Hi, welcome back to Basement Backgammon. In this episode, we'll be looking at problem 74 in Bill Robertie's 501 Essential Backgammon Problem Series. In this problem, black has to play a 1-1. It's a nice problem to have. You've got a blot out here, cube is centered, white has 3 checkers in your home board, in his backfield. You've got 1 checker, and white has 2 blots on 7 and 9. How do we play 1-1 to take maximum advantage of this very good roll? Let's give you 10 seconds to decide, and we will come back with that analysis. If you need more time, just hit the pause button. Okay, we're back. So Robertie's play here is very unusual and unorthodox, and I never would have seen it over the board. What Robertie says to do is play these 3 down, 6 to 5 with 3 checkers, and move 15 to 14, leaving a blot out on 14. So let's read why he says this. Let's move back to the original position. 3 of black's aces are clear, 6 to 5 with 2, and 15 to 14. With the last ace, black could play conservatively with 14 to 13. But that gives him an unwieldy stack of 6 checkers on the 13 point. Is there a choice? Notice that white needs 2s everywhere on the board. 2s to anchor on the 3 point, 2s to make his own bar point, and 2s to hit. The duplication of 2s and the awkwardness of 14 to 13 argue for a more flexible play. Black should move 6 to 5 with his last ace. Now, I'm not 100% sure why this becomes a more flexible play, but I kind of understand the idea of leaving this out, leaving another builder to make a point on the outfield or bring it around safely, but probably make a point in the outfield would be something that would be nice. And doing this lets you do that. Moving up doesn't do much because it blocks your own 6, blocks your 4s, and brings more checkers to bear on between here and here, right? These 6 checkers, these 6 spaces. So I don't like the idea of giving up some running room by moving over here. I understand that. You can't move down. This doesn't seem to be the best because 6s and 4s now come into play. We want to leave 2s as a vulnerable number. Again, by duplicating 2s, white has to break his midpoint in order to hit, and then can't use a 2 for other things. Makes him very vulnerable here. So I guess the more I talk about it with you guys, I'm talking it out, this kind of makes sense. Just because you're giving essentially a number that white isn't going to want to hit. Double 2s is the only really good number that white can roll here in order to hit you and then cover some stuff. Everything else leaves him pretty vulnerable. So let's see what XG has to say about it. I think this was kind of a brilliant play. I definitely would not have seen this one. We'll come back with the XG analysis in just a moment. And we're back with our XG analysis of problem 74. Now in this problem, white is to play a 1-1. I was unsure of Robertie's play here. It didn't leap out at me immediately about what to do here. Leaving the blot over here on 15, playing 15 to 14, and the 6-5 down with 3 checkers was Robertie's play. But let's see what XG has to say. And surprisingly, XG disagrees with Robertie. XG says make both the 5 point and the 7 point and leave a blot on the 8 and a blot on the 14. And then only have 1 direct chance to cover 8 and then an indirect. This seems odd, however. If you look at the table, it is virtually indistinguishable from Robertie's play. Robertie's play is the second play here. And as you can see, it is only 0.03% of an equity loss. So it's virtually the same as playing 8-7 down with 2 and 6-5 down with 2. So Robertie says do 15-14 and then 3 down off the 6. So yeah, a little bit of a difference. Interestingly, however, having said that, playing what most people would do, which is safetying 15 to 13 and playing 2 down on the 5 point, is also virtually indistinguishable from Robertie's play. There's only 1/100% equity loss difference to play this quote-unquote safe play and safety the 15 checker versus what Robertie's doing here, which is being slightly more flexible. So in this case, yeah, Robertie's making a point, but if you want to go ahead and safety that checker on 15, it's not the worst thing. But XG says the actual play is to make both the bar point and the 5 point. So live and learn, I suppose. This was an interesting thing for me. I did check on match play, by the way, with all variations, and it's the same. 8-7, 6-5. 8-7 with 2, 6-5 with 2 is the preferred play. But again, it is virtually indistinguishable from the other 2 plays. And everything else is an equity loss to a blunder. So I hope you enjoyed this analysis. This was an interesting problem for me. I still don't 100% wrap my head around this. Over the board, I would 100% play 15 to 13 and then 6-5 with 2. And guess what? I wouldn't be that far off the completely optimal play. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Please hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of future videos as I upload them. I'm committed to doing 1 a day for the rest of this series. I've really enjoyed this series. If you haven't been able to tell, it's really put a lot of life back into this channel. After I finished my board collection, now I know what to do with my boards. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Tell your friends. I want to see more subscribers. Tell everyone. Tell your friends. Tell your gardener. Tell your maid. Tell your wife. Everyone should be subscribed to this channel. Love you guys. I'll see you soon.